Hello and welcome. My name is Thomas with Delicious Brains, and this is our Delicious Digest, our favorite news stories, product launches, and tips and tricks from around the web. First, WP Mainline is a new WordPress-centric site focused on news, commentary, and community updates. Founder Jeff Chandler is a familiar face in the WordPress space, having previously owned WP Tavern. He stayed on as the editor when Automatic acquired it until he left in 2019. With this new venture, Jeff hopes to, quote, host and manage a WordPress community that encourages folks to build each other up instead of tearing each other down. A place that's free of all the noise that exists on Twitter and the countless Facebook groups. Also on the topic of WordPress, the folks over at Buddy shared an article on how to use WP Migrate DB Pro and Buddy to automate the process of creating a staging environment. What's interesting about the article is how they've used the WP Migrate DB Pro CLI add-on to create a custom pipeline, which can automatically run any of the saved WP Migrate DB Pro files. If you love automating tedious manual tasks, this one is one to check out. GitHub has been releasing some very cool features for remote teams, and this one is no exception. On Twitter, GitHub CEO Nat Friedman leaked github.dev, which you can access just by pressing the period key on any GitHub repository or pull request. This opens your code in a Visual Studio Code environment in your browser, and you can browse and edit your code online. It's a brilliant feature, and it means you can now edit code in any GitHub repository on any device as long as you have an internet connection and a browser. This functionality is powered by GitHub Code Spaces, but it seems to be available for free on public repositories for the time being at least. On another topic, Patchstack, a team of security experts focused on web application security and technologies like PHP and JavaScript, recently introduced the world to Haku. Haku is a hacker version of the WordPress mascot, Wapu, and is part of the Patchstack WordPress Bug Hunt 2021, where security researchers are invited to help identify and fix vulnerabilities in WordPress plugins and themes. Haku even has a Twitter account, which you can follow for WordPress security updates. August was an exciting month for releases at Delicious Brains. The WP Migrate DB Pro team released version 2.1, which included the long-awaited addition of regular expression find and replace, as well as accessibility improvements and per-user license activations. The ACF team released version 5.10, which included some important security updates, ACF block improvements, and a host of other features. This was our biggest ACF release since the acquisition, and we're really proud of it. Now let's shift to the business of WordPress. 2021 has been a bumper year in the WordPress acquisitions and investment space. The folks over at Post Status have been tracking these announcements since 2007, and 2021 already has more acquisitions or investments than 2019 and 2020 combined. Speaking of acquisitions, Delicious Brains product manager Ian Poulsen recently sold his pandemic project Plugin Rank to Syed Belki from Awesome Motive. Ian built Plugin Rank to help WordPress plugin developers track and improve their rankings in WordPress.org search results. It soon became so popular that Syed took notice, and the rest is history. You can read all about the journey from launch to acquisition on Ian's blog. Ian soon took everything he learned from that journey and, together with Alex Denning, launched FlipWP, a private acquisition marketplace for WordPress. On the other end of the scale, Jilt recently announced that it would be shutting down in 2022. Jilt is an email marketing platform for e-commerce stores with support for popular WordPress e-commerce plugins like WooCommerce and Easy Digital Downloads, as well as Shopify. Jilt was a product of Skyverge, which was acquired by GoDaddy in September 2020. While it's sad to see a WordPress product come to a halt, the Skyverge team is focused on something they describe as new and exciting for WooCommerce stores, so we wish them well. Now for some of our favorite tips and tricks. Did you know it was possible to name the revisions of a Google Doc and then only compare the named revisions? We didn't know, and we're really surprised at how making this minor tweak to our content production process has streamlined it tremendously. In other Today I Learned moments, HTML has a WBR tag. You can use a WBR tag in places where a break should happen, but only if a break is needed. If the text fits into the space and a break is not needed, nothing happens. Hat tip to Laravel developer Stefan Bauer for this tip. Since 2016, Smashing Magazine co-founder Vitaly Friedman has published and curated an extensive front-end performance checklist. Extensive is probably underselling its size. This is a mammoth guide to front-end performance. It includes details on metrics, tooling, and front-end techniques to create fast user experiences on the web. Vitaly updated the article in July 2021 to keep it up to date with current web trends. Delicious Brains team members Ian and Ahmed sat down to talk about the history of JavaScript. Did you know that JavaScript is only a year younger than PHP? In the WP MMR podcast, Ian and Alex chatted with Joe about the WordPress acquisitions market and their launch of Flip WP.
Buyers now just view the WordPress ecosystem as really tasty, and there seems to be a lot of money from hosts and other big companies that just think this is, there's a place we can expand, and it's plugins.
And that's it. Check out the links in the descriptions to access everything we've talked about in this delicious digest. If you found this video useful, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.